Nothing too crazy there. Alright, why don't we see what the kick ratio is. So that's 20% there. 21% there. %15 on Forest Day for kicks. 17% here. And 21% here. So what? Nobody uses the kick in the Forest Day map? That's what it looks like. So Forest Day and Forest Night, nobody uses kick, which is kind of interesting because you'd think the kick would be more useful on the Forest map. And I definitely use the kick more often. I intentionally use the kick a lot more in Mushroom Hall, but it doesn't get used. It's all punches. We haven't. Empirical evidence. People don't know how to play the fucking game. They're playing it wrong. Alright, well, it looks reasonable. I don't see anything else that I want to look at. Yeah. Everybody's listening to Adam's heart now. Shit. Let's see how it is. Alright. So now that we've got that, we have the always play. I want to save that and build it. Who's the robot now, Cocaine? He's the one who's a cyborg. Well, good. Okay, so our telemetry data is fixed. I'll see if... So the crate user report should work too later, so excellent. Telemetry systems did get fixed. Okay, so what we want is always view. So we go to this arena level. So I think what I'm going to want to do is so this is what should play pre-mission cutscene. I need to put these out into functions I can actually use. What's the other thing that we should do? So we've got pre-mission cutscene, start cutscene. Alright, so that's fine. Blah blah, if destroy cutscene should do it, so we should be fine. So let's duplicate play pre-mission cutscene, play post-mission cutscene. So we'll do it like that. Otherwise we need to do play pre-stage cutscene. So we got current stage, break stage, cutscene completion, right? This is pre-stage cutscene, so we just need to do the post-stage cutscene as well here. So I can go through these guys. I stream died again, Jesus. Well, at least he doesn't have the frickin', global front page right now. Because that's just tragic. So I can get rid of this stuff pretty much all over the place. So play pre-mission cutscene. Let's go to post-stage cutscene. It's post-stage cutscene. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of silly. I mean, one would expect a modern day country such as Australia to have good internet. But obviously, this is not the case. This is what happens when you take guns away from people, right? They can't rebel against their ISPs. That's the real thing here. So play post mission cutscene. That's the lesson everybody should learn. It's not about anything but my Netflix. Yeah, there's a mistake here. Yeah. Let's see. So we got post mission and then the pre-stage cutscene. Let's do that. So does he live in Sydney, the capital? No, he doesn't. He lives deep in the dark forests in one of Australia's many rainforests. That's where you'll find him. I mean, he's not like in the middle of nowhere, but he's not in like a. I mean, the only place that I lived that had like constant problems in terms of stuff was in Seattle. Queen Anne, whenever it was super windy, would lose power, but they were pretty good about getting it up, and it was not very regular. But that was, and also that's pretty close to downtown Seattle. But basically, like their excuse, which I think was a pretty good one, is just the infrastructure in that area sucks. Everything's so close together, and to make it all really good, they'd have to just tear everything the hell out. So, and that's nearly impossible. So, kind of stuck with it. All right, so let's take a look here for some of these. So, pre-mission. Pre-mission cutscene. This is pre-mission cutscene. All right. This is supposed to be a not Boolean. And I can probably get rid of this intro cutscene. So I should be able to do something like this where I combine this logic. They've stuck fiber in all the houses. Looks terrible with all the cables just stuck in the walls, but it works. Yeah, that's what I had in Seattle over in Bellevue when I was in college. Is the whole apartment complex was wired with fiber, and they had just in every laundry room area they had a big box on the wall, and it was there you go. But excellent internet. Who cares? I certainly do not. Aesthetics. Those are for people who, you know, don't have smartphones and TVs. Alright, so I need to change all the rest of these guys. So play pre-mission, play post-mission. You know, I wonder if we should contract somebody to build us a website. Um, because if we're gonna have stats and stuff like that, like a website is something we could contract out and get somebody to build. And like I can expose an API to that website which has all the stats and shit like that, and we could probably get somebody to build it. I wonder if I should do that. I don't really know any good website contracting stuff though. I'm sure somebody does. But then again, if we get a website and some contractors and then support and all that other shit, like, oh, we're gonna write in PHP. Yeah, sure. Fuck. Alright. So let's do update, pre-stage. I think it's pre-mission, start current mission, blah blah. Update pre-mission cutscene. We don't need this guy here, so we can just do that. You can tell I really like PHP. PHP. Fucking idiots. Alright. Says pre-stage cutscene. No, that was pre-mission cutscene that we just finished fixing up. The pre-stage cutscene, we need to do the same thing. Let's see. Play pre-stage cutscene. So we can actually remove all two of those. Do a knot here. Throw it in. I mean, why are you surprised? Kirk has an opinion on something? That was actually a joke in some of the offices I was in. if should... Alright, wait, this is server set post-mission cutscene. So, post-mission cutscene, if we should play it, this is supposed to be false, right? Like, yeah, it's supposed to be post-mission if this is false, alright. God, I checked that. Maybe I should check some of the others. Set pre-mission cutscene. Post-stage. Post-mission. Pre-stage. Alright. Alright, so update pre-stage has got this thing. Update post-stage. So we should have play post-stage cutscene. Yeah, I discovered that was actually a joke in some of the other circles in the company. The Amazon, the AGS Live guys, who no longer exist because they all got canned. There was definitely a joke there that it was one of those where they accidentally said the joke in a meeting, and you realize the joke is about you. And I thought it was hilarious. You know, it was like, you know, it's just saying something obvious. They're like, "Oh, does Kirk have an opinion about something?" You're like, "Ah, yeah, I do, actually." And I think that's an accurate statement. All right, so we got set pre-stage cutscene. All right, so post-mission cutscene is another one here, and we can do that. So play post-mission cutscene. Not. I don't know. I'm fine with that because that's pretty much one of the skills that I usually brought to a team was that I had opinions on stuff. And the other thing being, I can be convinced about things as well. Like, if I disagree with you and you actually like tell me legitimate reasons, I will agree with you. So it wasn't. So it was usually pretty easy to deal with me. Like, if Kirk disagrees with something, just he's gonna tell you. He's not just gonna go backstab you or not do something. He's just gonna say like, "No, I'm not gonna do that," or "Yes, I will do that," and then either do it or not. Okay, so it looks like all that's hooked up then. And that's also why they liked having me on interviews, is because I would actually give like a thumbs up or a thumbs down on people instead of being like, "Well, you know, he's a nice guy," and be like, no, fucking get him out of here. Nice guy, would go hang out with him, would not work with him, no hire. Dumb as a box of rocks. Alright, so continue. Played our cutscene. And we dropped into the level after that. Alright, so if there are no win conditions and no loss conditions, we should just go to the next stage. So arena level. Missions has one stage. I mean, we should win here just immediately. No. Yeah, it should. Alright, well, let's just jump in and see what we get. You do that. Well, it kind of helps when it's one of those things. All right, so if I click in, it's going to say, yes, we have one. So stage is over, victory has one stage. All right. And we've won. We're keep winning. Why are we still winning? So stage is over, victory. One last stage. Get the player controller. On victory, server set post stage. So we step into, so if we're supposed to skip, so this is set post stage, update post stage. Update post stage is supposed to auto end stage. Hello, EG. Welcome. Alright, so auto end stage is false. If what is this? Okay, so wait a minute. Basically, I think this skip post stage screen is supposed to be up here, isn't it? Nah, we're supposed to... Yeah, it's supposed to go ahead and skip through it, so this is supposed to come in here, not right here. So let's see where it's a skip pre-stage screen. Brackensack doesn't have anti-aliasing on my PC. Do you know what might be causing it? We turned on anti-aliasing recently. Do you have the latest update? Because we definitely added anti-aliasing in the latest, and I think the one before that, like update 5 had anti-aliasing, and you can tell because this is a lot softer on these letters. Alright, you do have the latest. Well, let me take a look. So our anti-aliasing is FXAA, so let me just... So we have it on, supposedly. So do you have a specific thing that you're pointing out that anti-aliasing is not working on? Yeah, links are disabled. You'll have to PM me a link. There's just nothing in here, is there? Yeah, motion blur, blah blah, intensity, post-process volume settings enabled. Why does this exist if it's not enabled? I don't see anything super in there. It's on Discord? Alright, let me take a look. Alright, so you're saying that oh geez. What quality setting are you on? Like that looks pretty low resolution. Like that looks real. Yeah. Let me see. You are. That stalactite's cut off over there. We're about. Yeah, because I don't even see any mushrooms on your. I don't see any mushrooms on your screenshot there. Like, where did you get that? Because there's pretty much mushrooms everywhere. Is it like right here? It looks like it's right here. Yeah, it looks like something's really not set right there. Alright, so let me look at our video settings. So if I set this to high, I still see that stuff. How about medium? Oh yeah, medium, I start to see stuff looking pretty bad there. Low takes everything out. Yeah, it looks like you're on low settings. Like that's because the UI is the right scale, but then like, you know, your character is, yeah, you're definitely on low settings or on medium settings. Yeah, you're it's going to be your quality settings that are going. So double check those, make sure they're correct. Another thing you can do is set it to defaults to make sure that that's correct. But that's what it looks like to me. The quality settings did help a lot. In terms of performance or in terms of making stuff look better, it's still kind of weird. Alright, you send another screenshot is what it looks like. So, yeah, it's looking like so it looks better, but it definitely doesn't look like the post-process stuff is working too well for you. Still got those jaggy outlines. That's in high quality. Try the epic quality. Yeah, high quality looks like it is disabling the anti-aliasing. When I go to epic quality, I mean, it also looks like this level kind of hmm. Yeah, so if I disable anti-aliasing, it's definitely looking like that, which is all jaggy. And if I go to cinematic, it looks a lot better, but I don't see it affecting, everything here. It's not really doing a whole hell of a lot for the landscape, is it? Yeah, I saw it looks better, but I'm not too happy with the anti-aliasing setting. Let me see if we change this to something else, what happens. Oh man, that looks awful. Like you can see the temporal anti-aliasing is making his he makes him totally blurry as all hell. So let's see. We were on FXAA, right? So it's not doing anything. Alright, so FXAA. It's only up the pixels, but it's not anti-aliased. Yeah. It's kind of what it's looking like, isn't it? Alright, so I think it's that the settings that they're saying are basically if you set to temporal anti-aliasing, yeah, that looks a lot better when things aren't moving. Like it's actually anti-aliasing is what it looks like versus FXAA. When I play that, it's a lot more jagged. The problem is when the character moves, you can see it just gets all sorts of screwed up. Alright, so the other thing we can do is we can go into the rendering settings. Where is it? Is it inside a default game? No, it's a default engine. Yeah, so we have this sort of stuff going on here for renderer settings. So do we have this checked out? I think both. It looks like there's definitely room for us to improve the anti-aliasing stuff. Custom depth temporal AA jitter. Event-driven loading. Alright, so AA frame rate. Sharpen. Alright. So if we go into our rendering settings and we go into this let me see, temporal, anti-aliasing, tweaks, Unreal. I mean, it doesn't look like it's using anything. I mean, it just looks like shit, and none of these settings are even doing anything, are they? Trying to see. I'm not super familiar with all these render settings, so. And the only thing that's really getting screwed up is the UI is getting washed out. Yeah, it's not gonna work at all, is it? Well, what I need is the render settings for the FXAA. I like how there's just none of these. So the difference would be setting the current anti-aliasing settings at runtime. God damn it. The documentation is just poor on all this stuff. Like, you're trying to look something up and it just says this exists and it doesn't tell you anything about how to use it. It's just ridiculous. It's like, alright, I want to increase the number of anti-aliasing samples. Not going to tell you how to do that. I'm gonna have to remove the fucking tilde key for that. Because it's just too damned annoying. What in the hell?